Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility, was the most beautiful of all the Olympian goddesses. Considered one of the most adored and popular deities of ancient Greece, she was a young, beautiful woman with extremely long hair, soft and delicate skin, large eyes, and fleshy red lips that were the downfall of any man, to such an extent that she was always considered the living image of elegance, beauty, and sensuality. To her misfortune, she was betrothed to Hephaestus, god of fire, metallurgy, craftsmanship, and forging, a character whose greatest virtue was his ability to mercilessly avenge any offense he might consider to have received. In addition, he was not at all attractive to his beloved, who considered that he lived a marriage full of loneliness, caused by the continuous and long trips of her husband, whom she did not respect at all because of his physical appearance, since he was even lame and hunchbacked. Legend has it that Aphrodite began to need the company of a man to match her incomparable beauty, someone who could disproportionately satisfy her basest instincts, to feel completely fulfilled. It was then that she noticed Ares, the god of war, a deity of athletic bearing, perfect body, and beauty that was irresistible to the goddess of love. As expected, both divinities fell madly in love, and it was in one of Hephaestus' trips that they would surrender their bodies to the sweet taste of sin. On that occasion, Ares received the call of his beloved and immediately visited her in the conjugal bed she shared with Hephaestus. When he arrived, he saw Aphrodite in front of him, beautiful, sensual, and covered only with a thin transparent robe that revealed each of her attributes. "My beautiful Aphrodite, the day has come when your skin will feel the caresses of a being worthy of possessing your body," said Ares. "I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. I couldn't stand the desire to be yours anymore, and at last I will be able to give you all my being," she answered. Then Ares took her by the waist with his strong arms, began to kiss her, and snatched her robe to let her see without fear the perfect body of his maiden, with perfect curves, firm breasts, and that immaculate skin of which he was now the owner. Throughout the night, both gave free rein to passion, surrendering their intertwined bodies until they reached the greatest pleasure that either had ever felt before. After that encounter, the lovers gave free rein to their desire whenever Hephaestus was absent. To avoid being discovered, Ares commissioned Electrian to guard the bed he would share with his lover every night, to be warned every time the sun approached, preventing Helios, god of the sun, from discovering the infidelity and warning Hephaestus and the rest of the gods. For a long time everything went well. However, Hypnos, god of sleep, had already perceived what was happening, but he did not want to be the informer of this story, and it seemed more fun to provoke the marital catastrophe in another way. On one of those nights of passion, while Electrian was on his night watch, he fell victim to a deep sleep provoked by Hypnos, so that he was unable to give the pertinent warning of the coming of the sun. At dawn, Ares and Aphrodite noticed that it is already daylight and they were not warned, which provoked the fury of the god of war to know that their forbidden romance was in danger. As punishment, he turned Electrian into a rooster, and from that day on condemned him to crow incessantly every time the sun appeared. As expected, Helios told Hephaestus of his beloved's infidelity with Ares. Blinded by love, the latter refused to believe that someone had been able to defile his wife in their conjugal bed. However, overcome by jealousy, he decided to organize a trap that would allow him to check if Aphrodite was unfaithful. He created a net as thin and imperceptible as it was powerful, which he would place on his bed to capture the lovers in the act. For a short time, he pretended not to know anything and casually announced a new trip, set the trap, and then left. It was not long before Ares arrived in search of Aphrodite to defile her body again, but this time they both fell into the trap of Hephaestus, who returned immediately only to find that indeed, both adulterers were caught by the net he had built. Furious, he made the call to the other gods to show the treachery of which he had been the victim. "These traitors have sullied my honor, and I will not allow them to continue to do so. They will never get out of my trap and will remain united like this for all eternity. And you, my wife, I repudiate you for the rest of my days as a vulgar slut," said Hephaestus. The rest of the divinities only mocked the situation, However, for Ares, it was no shame to be united to his true love for all eternity.